Ambassador John Bolton joining us this morning. I want to talk about trade. We are upsetting all kinds of trade agreements, bringing in the Brits maybe to get a new trade agreement. Does this amount to a real shift in our foreign policy, not just economic and trade policy, but foreign policy as well?
Well, it could. I mean, trade policy and national security policy should be aligned. I think the problem with the TPP agreement that the U.S. withdrew from yesterday was that it was a clumsy Obama administration attempt with origins in the second Bush administration to trade off economics and politics, and it just didn't work. That's not to say that we shouldn't be encouraging international trade and encouraging international free trade. It's that when you try to make trade-offs without really understanding what you're doing, you get a strategic mishmash. So I think TPP was rightly put in the grave yesterday, but now we need a replacement for it at a strategic level, not merely at a trade level.
The renegotiation of NAFTA. The President is going to sign an executive order which lets the Keystone Pipeline go through. Is building the Keystone Pipeline, finishing it, part of the renegotiation of NAFTA?
Well, I don't think it's related to the renegotiation of NAFTA. There was no reason to reject the Keystone Pipeline to begin with. And I think what's important is not the relationship in trade terms between Canada and the United States is a lot less controversial than the relationship in trade terms between Mexico and the United States. And I think that's what a fair amount of this conversation with the auto manufacturers today was about. So we'll have to see how much actual renegotiation there is in terms of the World Trade Organization, NAFTA, and others, versus what Trump has said, and which I think is very important, making other nations meet the obligations they themselves have undertaken in these various agreements, like, for example, China, which is far and away the greatest violator of its trade commitments right across the board. Katie.